You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey everybody, it's Jamie Migdal. I'm your host of Pets Mean Business on Pet Life Radio Network. Welcome to today's episode of Pet Life Radio Network's Pets Mean Business. All right, so I've already said that. I'm just excited because today I have a really special guest and someone that I've been looking up to and admiring for a long time. And we share a space of in the professional pet world, which I'll get to momentarily. But it's a great show. This feels like, you know, sometimes you just kind of look at your life and you look at what you're doing in your world and you look at the people that are around you and you look at the opportunities you have, which I'm sure you can relate to, right? And I feel like when I looked at who is on my schedule for today and I looked at kind of who this person is and how we kind of got to this podcast today, I just felt really proud and I'm really delighted. So today is a embodiment of what the pet industry is to me and what I think it represents in general and what I hope helps to inspire you. You know, our show is designed to do just that, to help you take a look at what the opportunities are in your life to follow your dreams and goals and passions. And ideally, those are around something within the pet industry. And you're listening to this show anyway, then I think there's lots of great takeaways and messages that these conversations spark. But really the goal behind the show is for you to take a look at what it is that you're looking to achieve, whether it's starting a company, whether it's growing a company, whether it's leaving a current industry and getting into the pet industry, whether it is becoming a volunteer or taking your volunteerism to another level. It's looking at how the pet industry, how you fit into that big landscape and what it is that you need to be able to pursue your goals and what kind of tools you might need. And I always make myself available. You know, I've been in the industry for a long time, 20 plus years. I know a lot of people. I do a lot of things. You know, I try my best to be helpful and useful. So, and I extend that to you. So if there's anything that I can do as far as making an introduction for you, connecting you with some information, you can always reach me at jamie@petliferadio.com or jamie@fetchfind.com. Either of those emails work. You can always text me as well, 312-394-9957. Like whatever you need, just let me know. Hey, Jamie, I heard you talking about this. I really like to meet this person. Or have you ever heard of this idea? Or anything like that. Please let me know. That's all this show is about. It's about helping people to figure out what they could do in this wonderful industry that is pet. Because it's big, it's growing, it's 64 billion at this point, I believe, maybe close 63, 64 billion. But there's a lot of people doing a lot of great things and making a lot of money and pursuing their dreams. And so that's what this show is all about. And today is no different. I've got a great guest with me today. I never like to do any kind of guest introductions because I feel like it takes away from the person telling their own story. So I've kind of gotten away from doing the kind of reading of the bio and doing the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just tell you who this person is. Her name is Aimee Beltran, and she works for, she works for PetSmart, but she works for a subsidiary of PetSmart called Pet360, which is their media division. And beyond that, she works for a company within that called BlogPaws. If you've heard of BlogPaws, then you know what a big deal it is to have someone from BlogPaws represented on Pet Life Radio and Pets Mean Business. If you don't know what BlogPaws is, then as soon as you get done listening, you're going to be becoming a member of BlogPaws, because if you're anywhere around or in the industry, then you need to know what BlogPaws is. And Aimee is a big part of that organization. And again, I will let Aimee tell you about Aimee. I just wanted to give you some background on where Aimee came from. Okay, so on that note, I think I've done this justice. I hope I have. All right. On that note, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, it's Aimee and Jamie together talking about stuff that I think will be interesting, I hope. Yes, it will be for sure. Okay, we'll be right back. Thanks for listening.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, the founder of Whitegate PR. We have been specializing in PR and marketing in the pet industry for over 10 years. If you have a pet product or service you would like to promote, give us a call. We can help create awareness for your brand on TV, radio, magazines, newspapers, and blogs. Feel free to reach me directly at 619-414-9307 or learn more on our website at whitegatepr.com or follow us on Facebook.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Okay, hey everybody, Jamie here, back from break. Thanks for hanging out and checking out. And are you excited to find out about what is this whole like PetSmart, Pet360 BlogPaws thing? I know you are. I am too. So with me today, like I mentioned at the top of the show, is a fabulous woman and colleague, and I think someone who's becoming even a friend, and someone who I really respect and admire for a whole bunch of different reasons. Aimee Beltran, please welcome. Aimee Beltran. Aimee, welcome to Pet Life Radio, Pets Mean Business. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Jamie? Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you're the Director of Community Education, correct, at BlogPaws? Yes. All right. Yes. So what the hell does that mean? Please tell us what that means.
Maybe it changes on a daily basis. No, I came into the company last fall, actually, after being a member for about 5 years, actually. I was just a community member with BlogPaws, and there was a need to create this role to kind of house all the educational things that BlogPaws wanted to do, build our educational community and build the content that goes into that. And I can speak about all of that in more detail too, and what all that means. And for those that don't know, BlogPaws is at its heart a member-based community for pet influencers. So it's people that either blog about their pets or have, an Instagram account that's for their pet, or any type of influencer in that blogging social media space. And so we've always, as a company, tried to help educate people on how to do those things and how to create their blog and how to get their stuff out there on social media. And we do that each year with a conference, but there was always a need for having something that would last year round. And that's where my role came into play, and having someone that could create and take the community to the next level and have this other layer of education that people could access 24/7, all year round. And that's really why the role was created and why I came into the company last year.
So before you came into the company, and I think you did a nice job of describing BlogPaws really being truly at its core a social media company, and around, again, pet enthusiasts, which we know people, I'm sure you get this all the time, but people, I would imagine, would look at you sometimes when you describe what it is and raise an eyebrow and say, really, there's such a thing, or there's such a need, right? Don't you get that sometimes?
Yes, all the time.
Like, wait, what kind of small little rinky-dink thing are you running out of your basement for pet bloggers, right?
Like, what is this?
Right, exactly. I know. People have if you're not in the pet industry, you just can't really wrap your arms around the enormity of the opportunity and of the consumer spend and of all the things happening. And so when you're so close to it like you are, it seems like, well, how do you not get this? Because look around. If you go for a walk for 20 minutes, you'll run into 17 dogs. Clearly, there's something happening, right? And then people, of course, go, oh, I guess that makes sense. How do you kind of, I don't want to say defend, but I think there's a little bit of truth to that term, right? How do you kind of, when you're talking about your job and obviously outside of the pet space, how do you describe the importance of or the need for an organization like BlogPaws?
Yeah, I think of it as still such a new frontier, and not the pet industry so much, but the influencer marketing space. Because at the heart, that's really, like I was mentioning, we're a community-based, our company is very much a community-based company, but the influencer marketing is really the business model that goes behind BlogPaws, right? So that's where a lot of the revenue comes into place. And that's what I find for people that aren't in that world is the hardest thing to explain, because people are used to traditional marketing, right? Whether it's TV, radio, magazines, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of people that still don't necessarily get what influencer marketing is. And there's all these people that are in these different niches, from the pet industry to the parenting space to fitness to what have you, that have such an influence with their readership. And so that's what BlogPaws also does, is there's this pet community, and this pet community has a tremendous amount of influence because they have a blog, or they have an Instagram account, or they have a Facebook page that, is bringing thousands of readers a month. And those are the people that really have the influence to present new product ideas or new concepts out to the readers because they have more trust than, say, like a big box brand that's trying to do that directly. And so I think talking about that it's exciting, but it's challenging for people that don't necessarily understand the way the marketing world is shifting.
How did that work for you? So I know you said you've been a part of BlogPaws for, you said 5 years. So how did you get to be, how did they choose you for this role? But actually, let's go back even further. How did you, were you making money? Were you making an income from your 2 blogs?
Yes. So it's an interesting story, and it's one of those things that gives me chills because I always feel like everything that you do along your path, it all somehow comes back and ties together. And that's how I feel about my journey with BlogPaws. So my background was actually in adult education and instructional design. I've been doing that for, almost over 10 years, almost 13 years now. Okay. And I started doing that in the travel industry. Along that way, I got my dog Chewy, and I was like, I can't leave this dog at home. I just don't want to have him at home by himself. And so I kept thinking, what can I do career-wise? How can I shift what I'm doing? Because I was ready for a change. And I started my blogs. And one of my blogs, Irresistible Pets, is a pet blog. And that's how I found BlogPaws. Okay. And one thing led to another, and I ended up going to the conference one year. And that was, the rest is history after that, because I kept going year after year and building those relationships with other bloggers, people on the team. And one conversation led to another, and they realized what I did for a living. And they're like, we have this great opportunity. This is something we wanted to do. And it was just such a perfect fit for what BlogPaws needed and for what I was doing. And it all just kind of came together from there. And that's what I have to say is the power of BlogPaws or any type of community, because I had no idea there was all these people out there that had the same, goals and desires that I had to be a blogger and to be in the pet space. I didn't even know that existed. So having this community that pulled everyone together, it's been truly life-changing to me. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true.
No, it doesn't sound life-changing. It sounds life-changing, but yeah, it doesn't sound cheesy. So actually, how would you quantify the life-changing aspect of being a part of this organization and taking your career into the next level? And how has that changed? Actually, I also have a second question to that. I'll remember to follow up if we kind of forget and get away from it, which is, have you seen it have a monetary impact on your personal blogs, being a part of BlogPaws? So not just doing it, let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So the way that it's been life-changing, my work-life balance these days, if I were to compare that to 5-6 years ago, it is completely night and day. It's such, I say living the dream, and again, it's like, oh, that's so cheesy, but it's so true. I get to work from home. I'm doing what I love. My dog is with me. My soon-to-be child will be with me. So Yay. It's just having that work-life balance. You can't even compare that to money, really. It's amazing. And I really, truly am in a good place, and I love what I do. And that was all because of the community. And the other piece to that, when we talk about money, my blogs were definitely bringing in some income for me. And what I always tell people is it doesn't have to be the traditional, I'm getting money from ad revenue and affiliates, which I do. But I was also working with BlogPaws prior to being an employee doing contract work with them. And so we built this long-term relationship that then turned into an opportunity for both of us for a full-time employment as well. And so it's been great. And so that's what I like to tell people too, is when you think about monetizing your blog, because for a lot of us, that's the end game, right? It doesn't always have to be the traditional way that you think it might be. It might look very different, and that's okay.
How do you feel working for, PetSmart? You obviously came from this very organically and from a very pure love of pets, and with your 2 blogs. And I would imagine that at some point, in the beginning, did you ever think, one day I can't imagine you. I thought one day I'll work for PetSmart. But now that you're doing that, can you kind of look back and think about what your perspective was then versus what your perspective is now as far as working for a $8 billion company?
What's funny, Jamie, is when I first started pet blogging, I thought, wouldn't the ultimate dream be to one day be an instructional designer with PetSmart? I kid you not.
No, stop it.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I seriously did. And I remember they had a posting at one point that went up, and I said, oh, it says it's based in Phoenix, but I'll apply anyway. We'll see what happens. And of course, I never heard anything because they wanted someone on site. And it's just so funny to me how things have shifted and come around. And like I said, it never looks how you think it's going to look, because while BlogPaws is owned by PetSmart, a lot of the work that I do is not with PetSmart, it's with BlogPaws. But it's still, at the end of the day, the checks come from PetSmart, right? And we're part of that company. So it's just so interesting to me how I said that and it came around. It's that whole, putting out in the universe. I believe in that, and that's what's happened. It's amazing.
I do too, Aimee. I do too. I knew, and I always felt like I had a good connection around some of those things. I think I've had some conversations about things around that kind of ethereal thinking and law of attraction, if you will, just to use that phrasing. And I have a huge smile on my face right now. I had no idea that was part of your story and that was part of your visioning. I did not know that. I hope that everyone who's listening is getting that and hearing how powerful of a message that is. And that's like I have the chills. I'll be honest. That just gave me the chills. That sounds super cheesy again, but I don't care. I don't care because I just got the chills. All right. Well, let's put our chills on ice for a minute and take a break. Wow. That was also cheesy. So let's just, so bad. Oh my God. All right. So we're going to take a break for a second and hear from some sponsors. And then when we get back, we'll go ahead and we'll see the rest of the conversation takes us. So everybody, this is Aimee Beltran, your host on Pets Mean Business on Pet Life Radio Network with my amazing and darling and wonderful soon-to-be mother guest, Aimee Beltran from BlogPaws /Pet360/PetSmart. We will be right back.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
The standard run-of-the-mill tests and treatments.
Cortisone,
antihistamine,
multiple creams, antibiotics, spray, multiple prescriptions,
steroid injections,
sprays, shots, antibiotics,
steroid creams.
No results.
It was neglect. The other owners didn't care enough about him to take care of him and to give him the nutrition he needed.
A nutritional supplement like Dynovite.
To be the healthy, happy dog he is today.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Put some nutrition in your dog. The vet that I trust recommended Dynovite. The dog I have today, because of Dynovite, has a sparkle in his eye, a lush coat, healthy skin.
When you rescue a dog, you've got to feed him right for life.
Dynovite will make your dog a happy dog.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Begging to hear more of your favorite show? Full episodes of all our shows are available on demand. Go to PetLifeRadio.com to fetch our entire lineup of Possum Pet podcasts. Also, dig us up in iHeartRadio and iTunes. Let's Talk Pets. Live and on demand only from Pet Life Radio.
Let's Talk Pets.
Let's Talk Pets.
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey guys, we're back. This is Aimee Beltran, your host on Pets Mean Business on Pet Life Radio Network. And of course, my guest today is the wonderful and irresistible, if I may, Aimee Beltran. Aimee, I realized something that we did not do at the top of the show, and I want to go ahead and give people the information now, although it is in the show notes on the website. But let's give website, email address, all that sort of thing. So it's blogpaws.com, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the social learning community in a few minutes, and we'll give some information around that. But at the top, kind of the bigger picture social media stuff. It's Twitter. The Twitter handle is BlogPaws. The Instagram is also BlogPaws. Facebook is also BlogPaws. Mm-hmm. So it's all just pretty straightforward.
At BlogPaws.
That's right, at BlogPaws, BlogPaws. So if anyone wants to look that stuff up, and if you want to visit Aimee on any of those social media channels, it's at AIMEE BELTRAN, Aimee Beltran, or her blog is Irresistible Pet, also at the @sign. So that's the way you can find Aimee and also BlogPaws. So let's actually talk about BlogPaws in more detail if we can, because I think that people should know about it beyond just kind of the surface stuff that we've already talked about. my understanding from our relationship and talking with some of the other folks at BlogPaws over the years is that you guys really do want to be an education community for your influencers. And to that, I'm really excited for you guys. And I don't mean this to sound condescending, but really proud of your launch. And I know that for however proud I am, you are exponentially proud of your launch of the social learning community. Can you go ahead and talk a little bit about, or a lot about, or however much you want to talk about what that is, what that was, and how this is going to impact BlogPaws and also pet influencers on the whole?
Absolutely. So back to that, just to give a little bit of background. So when BlogPaws was founded in 2009, they launched the following year an online community. And that was a community where people, in the very traditional sense, could go in and respond to forums and have discussions with people that were, pet influencers in this space. And it was very, a gated private community for people in our space. So that was in place up until this year, actually, and it's still in place. But we've taken that community that started to the next level. And that's what the SLC is. And SLC stands for Social Learning Community. And what that is that community that I talked about that first started with the company, we've taken that and expanded upon, the groups and the discussions and all these social interactions that happen within the community. And now that there is this added layer of education, and it's education for, social media and blogging and things that are going to help people who maybe want to monetize their blog, who maybe they work for a shelter or a rescue and they kind of need help figuring out how to get their messages promoted through social media, or they want to become a pet influencer. So that's what the SLC does. And it's now kind of this formalized place online that has all of those things. But I just want to reiterate, too, that that's something that BlogPaws has always done, whether it was through the conference or whether it was through the community. We've just now taken that to the next level. And so it's going to give people just an added layer of education that they can come and find any time of the day. And, of course, we just launched the new SLC community about a month ago. And as we continue to grow, we'll have new course offerings. We'll have new content on there, monthly challenges that people can participate in. So it's only going to grow from here.
So what if someone's listening right now and they're like, wait a minute, I have a blog and I've wanted to do something with it, or even, moreover, I want to create some social media channel and look to find ways to grow that and monetize that and what have you. What would be your first recommendation as far as SLC is considered or BlogPaws? What would you recommend that what kind of road or path would you recommend them taking?
Sure. The first step I would say is join our community. It's free. All you have to do is go to community.blogpaws.com and sign up. We welcome, everybody to come in there that's interested in being in this space. And that's really the first step. And from there, once you're in the community, there's so many people. I don't mean our team. I mean the actual community. People that, this is what I love about it, is once you come in and maybe you have a question and you're posting in one of the forums, a lot of the times as team members, we don't even have to jump in because we have so many community members that are willing to give you advice, are willing to give you tips and tricks and share things along the way that have worked for them, which I think that's really, to me, what a community is all about. So
that's right.
Get in there, join, talk to people. You're going to learn so much. And I personally, when I was first starting out, that's where I learned a lot of the things that I have to do with my blog was through the BlogPaws community.
Do you think that people, and what is your experience as well, but doing this on the side, quote unquote, so someone who has a full-time job, even a very demanding full-time job in any number of, what is your feeling about having them enter the blogging world or the world of social media?
I can confidently speak about that because I was that person. I was working a full-time job that had absolutely nothing to do with blogging or the content that I was blogging about. And yes, it's a challenge, but if it's something that you are passionate about and you really want to do it, it is doable and you have to make the time for it. Even if that's, 30 minutes or an hour a day, once you're home from work, you will find the time to make it happen. And I've been there and, set goals for yourself and figure out, you're here now, but where do you want to be in 6 months or a year from now? And you can work towards those things and take it from me. I mean, I never thought that I would find a career that blended my professional background with my passion for blogging and for pets. So it's possible. And so I don't want people to feel discouraged. If you're working a job that you really don't like, you don't have to be there forever. You really don't.
What a wonderful message, and the fact that you've walked down that path and you're living it. It's just really inspiring and really good reminders for, I think, anybody at any point in their career about the idea of visioning and setting goals and thinking it out kind of outside of the box and being just really open to possibilities, which I feel like really kind of defines your journey as far as, well, not just pet, but it sounds like kind of defines your journey and the way that you've approached life. Have you always been that way?
I would say so. Like I've always just been very determined. Like if I want to do something, I'll find a way to do it. And I think that, having a little bit of that goes a long way. And if you are determined to do something, you'll make it happen and you'll find a way. It's one of those things. Like a lot of people say, well, I've been in this job for so long, and it's never too late. That's what I like to tell people. It is never too late to go in the direction that you want to go in, and make a change. Is it scary? Heck yeah, it is scary. But sometimes you have to take a leap of faith and just go for it too, once you know that you're ready to do that. And that really does apply to anything in life, whether it's, exercise or, traveling or whatever it is. It really does apply. It's such a good, really good, powerful reminder. And I think that you do a great job at articulating those thoughts. And, it's funny, I've been involved in a program myself recently, and there's a big message. I'm part of a business accelerator here in Chicago, which is kind of a business incubator. It's a 16-week program where they take us and they basically put us through a 16-week curriculum to help to truly accelerate our companies. They're all digital companies. They're all women. It's really amazing. Anyway, the point is that we have classes and events and things and lots of homework. And there's a kind of an overarching message that we get on a daily basis, and it's part of the program's kind of framework. And nothing is not at all what I'm about to share is nothing, nothing life-changing or nothing that we all don't know. But there's a message about that extra 20%. And that if you look at anything in your life and you haven't achieved your goal, or you're falling a little short, or you're frustrated, or you can't quite get to that next level, that if applying 20% more effort will absolutely make all of those things happen. Whether it's if you run 3 miles a day, okay, now run 3.5 miles a day. If you're doing 20 push-ups a day, do 25 push-ups a day. I mean, whatever it is, but if it's that whole idea of that success is found in that extra mile, and very few people go that extra mile. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. I hope I am. I have the biggest smile on my face and with the goosebumps again, because when I first started I put quote unquote real job, corporate job, when I was young, that was the exact advice that my dad gave me, and said that if you just put in that extra, I think that maybe 10 or 20%, whatever it is, next to you, he was like, you will be golden. And I will always remember that. So I like the fact that you said that, I'm so happy, because that's something that has always stuck with me. And it's true. It is so true. And I feel like the people who I admire most professionally, especially in this world, are the people who also hold that to be true and kind of design their entire life around it. In fact, I'm just quickly looking for an email from someone who I recently met, who's a really successful entrepreneur and extraordinarily successful, who's been helping to do a little bit of advising for my company and for me. And he, just this really smart guy. I mean, let's just put it this way. He sold a couple of companies, one to Groupon and one to GoDaddy. I mean, successfully, right? Right. Like that's who this guy is. Anyway, he and I, we've met a couple times. We email often. And I just wanted to pull up his email, because he has at the bottom of his signature line, just has his name with his Twitter handle. And then it says in italics, "The extra mile is a vast, unpopulated wasteland." And that's the quote that he has at the bottom of his email. Like, apparently this guy named Jeff Hayden, who I don't know who Jeff Hayden is. I'd have to look that up. Apparently this is Jeff Hayden's quote that he just has on his. Let's see who Jeff Hayden is. Jeff Hayden he's a ghostwriter, speaker, LinkedIn influencer, and contributing editor to Inc. So this guy, that's not the gentleman who's been helpful. I don't want to give this guy's name. I feel like that would be weird. But the guy that I'm talking about, my advisor, right, is quoting this guy, Jeff Hayden. But I just feel like, I remember when I first got an email from, his name is Kevin, who's the person I'm referring to. When I first got this email from Kevin, I looked at his signature line, I thought, before I even met him, I thought, well, isn't that guy interesting? And it turns out that is how this guy, who's had extraordinary success, clearly, that's how he lives his life. The extra mile is a vast, unpopulated wasteland. And it is so true. And, I tell people, the bloggers all the time that want to, make a full-time income or make some kind of income from their blog or what have you, or turn it into a business. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to take those extra hours. at night when other people are sleeping, or when you have to wake up earlier than everybody else. If you want it bad enough, like that to me is that extra mile that you're talking about. It's being willing to put in that time and effort if there's something you really, really want to do. And anything that you really want, it's not going to be easy. It's not. Yeah, I love this. I could go on and on about that kind of stuff.
I just want to sit in this moment. I really do. And that I just want to sit in this moment of really like appreciating, kind of together appreciating that concept and that thought, and looking at the ways that the places in your life and my life and how that effort really does mean everything. Mm-hmm. And I know you're having a daughter, and I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I feel like it's my job truly to teach her that. You know, like I want her to just, if I get to teach her one lesson, that means that's how you treat people. That you go the extra mile with people, with your own life, with your own fitness, your own health, your own career, your own aspirations, your own, whatever it is, reading a book, playing an instrument, whatever it is, go that little extra bit, right? Like that's what I want her. And that's like, we're powerful. Like that's how we feel powerful, and we feel capable and confident. It's because of that. And I just want to, I feel like, for whatever kind of parent I am and whatever kind of lesson she walks away with in life from the parenting that myself and my husband have provided for her, will provide to her, I want her to have that as a guiding principle.
I love that.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Okay. So listen, on that note, this has been amazing. I so enjoy talking with you. Obviously, it's been great having you on my show. I really admire and respect you so much as a professional as well. And it's nice to have this time with you. And I'm really grateful that you took the time to spend with me today. I know you're super busy. You have a lot going on. You've got baby coming. You've got house repairs. You've got a career. You've got a whole LMS that you just built. I know you've got so much going on. So I so appreciate you taking the time, Aimee. Like I said,
it's a beautiful, chaotic mess.
It is, isn't it? That is life. Beautiful, chaotic mess. In the show notes, we'll make sure that we have all the pertinent information about BlogPaws and of course, the social learning community, and also connections to your own stuff that you work on that help propel you forward. And I know that, you're going to be on maternity leave. I want everyone to realize that. So if you do reach out to Aimee, when you do reach out to Aimee, it will be sometime potentially before she's able to get back to you. You can always reach out to me as well, and I can help bridge some of that communication, or maybe set you up with somebody else in the meantime. So Aimee, again, is at Aimee Beltran on Twitter. I'm, of course, Jamie at fetchfine.com or Jamie at petliferadio.com. On Twitter, I'm at Canine Entrepreneur. Good luck spelling that. And so if you need us, Aimee or myself, we will certainly super be happy to help you. Super be happy to help you? Yeah, you know what I mean. Happy. Well, we're super happy to help you.
We're happy.
We're so happy. Okay, everybody. On that note, Aimee, once again, thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Of course.
Really good time.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Okay, everybody, we will say thank you now. I hope that you got some amazing inspiration from Aimee. I know I always do every time I talk to her. This was no different. Anything, find me, find yourself, take that extra step, go that extra 10, 20%. Do what you need to do to feel good about yourself when you go to bed at night, when you wake up in the morning. And it's you tackling this world. It's you being a part of this world. It's about you making the choices that make your life better. If you can do that with a dog by your side, well then, God bless you. Go. All right. This is Jamie Migdal. I'm your host on Pets Mean Business on Pet Life Radio Network. We'll see you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.